Hello, and welcome to Bigfoot Odyssey. I hope everybody's doing all right out there tonight. And it's Sunday Conversations here. Joining me because Jackie Eindogger is on holiday, having a nice time in Las Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah, sounds like the party town. Uh,
indeed.
and she's having a great time by all accounts. So joining me is Lee from the Ravens Outpost. How you doing, Lee?
Doing great tonight. How are you doing?
Doing good, doing good. You had
Good.
a long session last night, I believe,
Four,
talking
4 hours. We talked to everything.
4 hour marathon, talking Sasquatch.
Yeah, that don't happen often. I kept saying, "Well, we gotta go." No, we kept going.
It does. I hosted a Encounter Hub last night, and actually, it was really good. It was a fantastic conversation. There's only three of us there, but there's just so many questions, isn't there, to Sasquatch? And
Oh my God, yeah.
what we did learn is like we know nothing about it. After all the questions we had, when we really tried to break down why we think they do certain things or just associating Sasquatch to certain things, well, we don't really know. Um, we're just making assumptions, aren't we, all the time?
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
what do we know? Not much. But it's a fascinating conversation to have. What I did actually just briefly tune in to your show because it must have been this morning, wasn't
Had to
it?
been.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like time's just all over the place. But you said you're going to start doing some sort of encounter hub on your
Yeah.
channel after your shows.
After my show on Friday nights, I'm going to throw out the link for anybody who wants to join me after the show's over with, that they have an encounter they want to share that they don't want to share with the public and just need somebody to talk to. I'm going to throw that lifeline out there for
That's
anybody
great.
who, some people need to have somebody to listen to them. I'm glad people have you, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, it helps, and I just want to give them another avenue if they feel comfortable enough to do it.
definitely. There's definitely people out there who want to talk about it and don't want to come on a show. And last night, I know the lady who comes in quite regular really appreciates the place there to talk about it because she has nobody else to talk about it to.
Right.
It's not an easy subject to bring up with your neighbours or your friends
Oh,
if
shoot,
they're
no.
just not on that level or in that, um, believing. Fred in Alaska, how you doing? It helps to share. It really does, doesn't it? Just talking, and it gets easier every time you do it. You might think it's hard, but once you start, it gets a lot easier to talk about your experiences. And I think we're learning a lot in these private chats. Maybe not about Sasquatch, but I don't know. Just it's a different environment when you're not live. You don't have to. I'm not saying perform, but it's just easier to relax when you're not live and talk more about this subject for people. I don't know. I think it's just the pressure, isn't it? When you think loads of people are watching you,
Yeah,
you have to watch
absolutely.
what you're saying or be careful how you say things. I mean, it's not like we don't have to be careful, but I don't know. There's just something different, definitely, when you switch off. How you doing, Papa C? Good to see
Hey,
you here
Craig.
tonight. Quite a few people in it as usual. Um, so Earl, how you doing? Sometimes you just can't talk about it. I get that. I get that. But I'd like to think being in company, even just listening or just being with people who are prepared to listen to you can help, can start that process.
Absolutely.
Um, and so, yeah, I get how difficult it is. And I don't think a lot of people do on the outside. Those that haven't had an encounter really don't get how difficult this is for people. Um, I'm not sure, Miss Lisi. I think Kerry was arranging something, so I'll try and get in touch with him during the show and see if he is doing anything later. Jean Hudson, hi Jean. Lots of people need the privacy to talk so people don't look. That's true. That's true. And there is privacy in the Encounter Hub, and there will be in your hub.
Yes, it will be.
Literally, what's talked about in there stays in there. And, you can just have a one-on-one if you want.
Absolutely.
I ask people to get in touch with me if they want to join, and I kind of know now who's coming and who will be good to be in that environment as well. But I do encourage people to get in touch, to come and join us. That's my email address. What's yours, Lee?
flmcnew@gmail.com.
FL.
flmcnew@gmail.com. I haven't got one attached, specifically to my channel yet. I need to do that. But yeah, that's how you can get a hold of me.
Okay, I'm going to put that up in a second. And, if you want to go to Lee's, it doesn't really matter. Whoever you're more comfortable with, or
Right.
whoever you follow more. I as long as someone goes somewhere,
Exactly.
and knows somewhere to go, it doesn't bother me if you turn up at mine or Lee's, or hopefully other people, the other creators doing the Bigfoot subject might want to do this too, because it's not entertainment.
No.
There's a certain point where it's not entertainment anymore when you're getting involved with people and interviewing people, and you realise there's, it just when the show ends, it doesn't end for the people that have had the experiences. It does for the people that are watching it, and they just go on to another one. But it does take a lot for people to come up and discuss what happened to them. So, I think it's good to have a place for afterwards, just to go and keep talking about it.
Absolutely.
It's a big thing to bring up emotionally for people. So,
there's only so much you can do when you're watching the show and you still have that story to tell, and don't have the courage to tell it. And if you feel like you've got all these eyes on you, I mean, you've got a large audience, and it helps to know that there's not that many eyes on you. You go to the back room, sit down, have a little privacy, and spill your guts to somebody who knows, and it helps. It really does. It helps you, and it'll help us because we know we're helping somebody else. Because a lot of us have been through a lot of the similar stuff. One way or the other. Maybe not the same thing.
Not just Bigfoot.
Absolutely, it doesn't. Yeah. For me, it doesn't matter what it is. My channel covers a wide swath of paranormal, everything that would fit under that umbrella. So it doesn't matter what type of encounter you've had. For me, I'll listen to it all.
Because the effects are the same.
Exactly.
That's what people don't realize, is the effects are the same, even though the cause isn't. Is a different thing, and I think that's why people connect here, because we've all been through some sort of trauma through our lives at some point. When you get to a certain age, you've experienced stuff, and I think a lot of people connected, and not all connected by Bigfoot. Just the fact that there's that connection of everyone's been hurt a little bit, and there's support here, and they can feel that. Because it is grown into such a great community that when it comes down to it, there is support for people. So, yeah. Who did I see just coming in then? Earl says, seeing one and dealing with one is a different story. Yeah, there's a lot to take in.
It really is.
A lot of different layers.
And you see a monstrosity standing between 7.5 to 10 feet tall. All depends on where you're at, and weighing 800 to 1,000 pounds. I mean, that's a lot to wrap your head around when it looks like a human. I mean, it's got those human-like features, but yet it's so feral, I guess you would say, bestial. And it's hard to wrap your head around.
Especially if you're not aware of them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, your whole paradigm is yes, your world is turned upside down at that point. Everything you thought you knew just went out the window.
Yes. I did just notice before coming in. Big Racer, my encounter is DM, Dogman, I presume.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of different.
Oh, yeah.
All these things people are seeing, I don't know how they cope with it, but they do. And I just can't imagine, I keep saying it, I just can't imagine seeing something like that. But they're out there. They're obviously out there.
I'm talking Wendigo and Gugwe and Little People and all these other crazy creatures that are surfacing everywhere. You get all these reports of all these, for lack of a better term, I have to call them a chimera of some sort. Some combination of beast and man. And it's like, where are they coming from? What is this? And you just gotta think, there has to be some type of weakening or thinning of the veil, of some sort. That's the only conclusion that I can come to. Where they were all hidden before, they're becoming more apparent now and bolder, and I don't know. Like we've said, it's a lot of it's theory. I've got my own theories about things, but it's just what it is. I listen to a lot of reports from people who have had their encounters and how they deal with them. Some people deal with them good, others do not handle them well at all. It all depends on your mindset, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just trying to find an article. We talked, didn't we, the other week about these the hunting regulations websites.
Oh yeah. I haven't gotten around to looking into that yet.
Well, I did a little bit of investigating myself.
Okay.
Around myself. So it all starts with this. Is what Kerry posted one night. In this specific hunt regulations, there is no taking of swamp or skunk ape. So I've been looking all over for different states, and I can't actually find specific hunt regulations. The specific hunt regulations so far in any of them, because I want to find who wrote that. No taking of skunk or swamp ape. And get in touch and say, what is that? What is this skunk ape? And just see what they say. So I've been looking for that exactly. I can't remember the places that I've looked, but then I don't know if me and Jackie were doing it together, and I found the Washington State, where there is a law of protection on the Sasquatch.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was in 1969, the Skamania County officials passed Ordinance number 69-01, the first official law of the year dedicated to protecting and preserving Sasquatch. And it was done on April the 1st, but they said this is not an April Fool's joke. There's a reason to believe that such animals exist. And I think the kind of, I'm going to actually share it instead of just doing this. I think a lot of this was done to protect people that were going out trying to find these things and ended up getting injured,
Mm-hmm.
shooting whatever they could see. But But here it says,
Oh,
although the
yeah.
audience presents the possibility that Sasquatch is a real creature. I'm just going to enlarge it for people and we can all. It also presents protection towards innocent people mistaken for Sasquatch. So obviously something was going off, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Around 1969, that time, obviously with the Patterson. People, even then with the limited networking, because there was no internet. I mean, who was seeing this, Patty video? Where were they seeing it at? But if we go down a little bit more, it talks about something, them being cannibals. Hang on. Where was it at here? So here, let's just hear again. So, yeah, the new audience, although with lenient overall punishments, include the ultimate Sasquatch protection, the hunter or killer could be charged with murder.
Wow.
And then it goes on to talk about Whatcom County. Now, there's obviously something going on in Whatcom, and I tried to look into that a little bit more, but I couldn't find anything. Maybe people who live around there can research a bit better than I can from England. I don't know. But it did go into talking about they had a word for it, and probably gone past. They were talking about old folklore, and they called it something. But when I looked that up, it just meant a spirit, like an evil kind of spirit that can present itself in people and not, or animals or whatever. I wish I could just find the. I can't find it. I'm going to put a link to this anyway if people want to read it. I just think it's really interesting. These things were being talked about, and I talked about a paper trail, and there is stuff out there, papers like this. You just need to search a little bit deeper. I'm going to just put that and let people, if they want to read that, copy. And I will put. So yeah, there's stuff out there, isn't there? There is stuff out there.
I mean, local and state governments put stuff out like that. You got to scratch your head and say, why aren't they just legitimizing this? Period. What did they have to gain? I think, and we were talking about this last night on the show. I think if they were to release, disclose this information saying, okay, the Sasquatch does exist. We recognize this as a being, blah, blah, blah. People would not be overly like, oh, really? Well, wow, that's cool. With all the stuff that's going on today, I mean, look at the craziness the world is in. I really don't think the general public would be that surprised. I really don't. And I think that I don't understand why. And I do believe they're covering it up, and I don't understand why. What's the point? What's the big deal? What is it? What is the link there? What is it that's so big of a deal that they've got to cover this information up? If these, that's proof that there's some local governments that are just on state governments that are putting this information out there. Skunk ape, swamp ape, that's common reference to a Sasquatch in a certain area, usually in the lower 48 here in the South, Alabama, Louisiana, Florida, Georgia. I think they even call it that as far north as Tennessee. And it's, they know.
It's ridiculous.
They know. It really is ridiculous.
It's almost like, look, we know they're out there, but we're just let's dive 45,000 feet to the bottom of the ocean and find a tiny little fish like this.
Right.
And it's a rare breed, or they're putting all that into that, but this thing's just here now. It's there. You don't need to dive. You don't need to go down anywhere dangerous. Just it's out there. It's just crazy, isn't it? I was talking about this last night in the hub, that there's no backup for anybody in this subject. You can't go and have this conversation and go, well, look, if you look in the encyclopedia, or look, if you go on a website, there's nothing to back anybody up, and that's the sad thing. Is there's just nothing out there to back up your story, unfortunately.
And there are legitimate scientists out here who actually believe in this subject, who want to get involved, but getting funding is nigh impossible. I mean, they just can't do it. They just can't get the funding. And I looked into some of the cameras that they use to film. If you were filming constantly, say you had a dedicated cinematographer, right, and take them along on your expedition, the camera that you would have to have costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's nuts. But the best thing you're going to use is what you've got right here, and just be vigilant. Do what you can. If you're getting out there, be careful. But, that's where the research is going. It's going to take people, ordinary people like us, who are just out moseying around, and just stop, take a picture, or whatever. Maybe you'll spot it. I don't know. It's just hard. It's really hard, because nobody's going to be able to get any funding for it. Not the kind you need to dedicate the time it's going to take to get out there. I mean, how long did it take Jane Goodall to get out there and make friends with the mountain gorillas? How long did it take for them to get a good steady picture of the billy ape? I mean, and that's just recently within the last 10 years or so. The lion killer, the largest chimpanzee out there, and people wouldn't give them funding for it.
Jack Melton, how you doing, Jack? Endangered habitat must be protected under the law. Okay, so what else is protected under the law? What else is protected in the woods? Because they're still doing the logging, aren't they? So is anything protected?
There are certain places that are labeled as habitats, and habitat areas you can't do anything. I mean, it's forbidden to do any type of logging, excavation of any type. You can't even pull plants out of there. If you pull a plant out of there, it's a federal offense. You're looking at prison time, not jail time, prison time.
We have places like that here where you can't take anything, you can't dig anything up or move it. It's all protected.
Right. So there's that. And, you've got a lot of these national forests and state parks that are federally looked after under the Bureau of Land Management and Department of the Interior. They all deal with all that. I don't know. And you look at, I hate to go back to it, but, missing 411, when David Paulides started looking into all this stuff, most all of it happened in where? National parks. That's where he was looking and trying to get, through the Freedom of Information Act, trying to get some type of record of all these people that have gone missing. He couldn't get nothing. They weren't keeping records. That's why. What's going on? You you keep going and keep going. This is what happened to me. You just find more questions and you get answers. You know, I don't know.
It's annoying, isn't it?
It really is.
It is. I keep saying it more and more recently. Like, this is just ridiculous. What on earth is going on? You know, this is the most. They just need to put their hands up and go, yeah, it exists. So I just don't get it. Yeah. You know, people keep saying the logging and that, but not, like you say, not everywhere is logged.
Exactly. Not everywhere.
They'd have to have proof that they're in that area to even put a protection. You know, if they're just passing through, they surely have to find nests or, I mean, I don't know how it works. I don't know how you know something is, you know, like over here, like places that have bats are protected and they know that they're nesting or they know where they're living, kind of hang out. There's like evidence of that. But with Bigfoot, how do you know where they live? Or
we don't.
Wherever they lay their heads, you know, for a night or two or a week, whoever. Andy gone fishing. What about Iceland? Save the elves. They move highways due to the possible elven habitats too.
Whoa.
So what about you, Strangeland? Have they, is in Newfoundland, do they do weird stuff there with the roads to protect the little folk or whatever you have over there? Desert Fairy Chick, Raven's Outpost. I've just put a link in the chat, but I will leave a link to Lee's channel in the description after the show.
Thank you.
Because we don't want them going there now. I want to keep everybody here.
Yeah.
Not going over to you.
I have abandoned the outpost for Bigfoot Odyssey tonight.
Yeah, he's not there. He's here.
I'm not there. I'm here.
He's here. So yeah, what we were talking about. Yeah. This protection thing. Who knows? But I encourage anyone to do a little search on Google for Bigfoot written papers or laws, or you know, or try and find this. Whatever state it was, under this specific hunt regulations, there is no taking of swamp or skunk apes. If anyone can find me that leaflet online, that whatever it is, I'd love to know where it's from, because I would like to get in touch with them and say, please explain what is a swamp or skunk ape. Someone would have to respond, you'd think.
Absolutely.
So yeah, let me just have a look. Who else said? Did Strangeland get back to me about Newfoundland?
You know, I've got somebody I could pass some of this information off to, and they could get back to me pretty quick.
Of what? Sorry. Oh, right. Okay.
Right, yeah, I think they could find it. They do a lot of digging.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of time. They can actually do this and help us out here.
I don't know if you know, if like there's some sites I can't get to in America, but it tells me that I can't.
Right.
But who's to say there's lots of sites that I just can't access, and they're not even just coming up for me to see. And I think if you're in America, you just might have better access to information than I have.
That's true. But the fact that you got all that is really cool.
Yeah, it was interesting to find that. Daniela, Andy has a what? What does he have?
I'm so sorry. Those mean no offense, but that was kind of funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't want to say it. Nana Boss. If it's the one Kerry proves it's from Florida. Thank you. Okay, I will look into that then. The Florida state park regulations. I mean, I don't know.
Look under Florida Fish and Game, I guess.
Oh dear. There's a little technical issue there with
Oh no.
Thank God it's just water. You know? Not my usual brandy. I don't drink.
I don't either. Coffee.
Regulations. All right. Found it here. So maybe we could look together. What do you think?
That's what I'm opening up a window.
See if it's there. There we go. So that's it, isn't it? Florida Fish and Wildlife
Conservation Commission, hunting regulations. Yep, that's it.
So we want the special hunting specific. What was that? What did it say? It was specific. So I think I've pretty much been
taking game. Maybe.
Areas closed to hunting. So it's not under that, is it?
No.
So what else do you think it could be under? Anybody in the chat think they know what area? This is what it said in specific hunt regulations. So
season date and bag limits by zone, I guess. I don't know. Let's see if I can receive no wildlife.
Interactive hunting regulations. What would that be? No, I think I've seen these ones before, and I don't know. I've looked in here, hunting regulations, but it only splits it up into other wildlife regulations. Go away. So many ads on here, it's ridiculous. What about this? For more information. I don't even know if it's going to be. This is not easy to find, is it?
It's not. You're going to have to dig.
So, anybody in the chat? Anybody in the chat work in this industry? And wild hog section. Okay. Thank you. Wild hog. So let's go back, I think, to this one. No, not that one. Oh heck, I forgot where I was now. Oh, what is that? So we're taking a forget, would it? Oh, I think I just see I'm all over the place now with this. I'm all over. Where was that other page we were on?
With the
yeah, it wasn't this one, was it?
No. Let's see.
Oh, hang on. This was it. If I go back. Oh no, taking game. Well, wild hogs. Here we go. So it could be this brochure. See, this is just ridiculous, isn't it? Why don't they just have it all? Right, this is to get a brochure, so that's no good, is it?
No, they make it so you really do have to hunt for it. No pun intended.
Yeah. So let's just try again. Well, let's not look. If someone can find it, send it to me. Send me the link. Because that's it's not easy if you've never been on those sites before. And I've never been hunted. Never been hunted anything. So, one minute, let Daniela, is the Lower Suwannee County, what's that, Jonathan? Oh, it's Lower, okay. Should I have a look for that? Where's that, Suwannee?
I have no idea. Let's see.
Here we go. Lower Suwannee. Okay. So where will it be on there? Do you know what? That's right. Just want it to be so obvious. Maybe it's obvious to people. There was a search box, yeah, but right on the one where you're looking for the leaflets. But it's knowing which leaflets to look for, to search for. And I have tried Sasquatch and Bigfoot in the search boxes before, and nothing comes up. But I've got the law of the Fish and Wildlife Service, but it's not telling me about any hunting laws. Hunting, here we go. Hunter's responsibility or wildlife conservation. Let's share this. Yeah, I searched for ape, swamp ape, and nothing came up. Jonathan's got the link up as we speak. I've got the link. I've got it up. Let's let me share it. And I've got to the hunter's. Is it the hunter's responsibility bit? Other regulations. Everyone keep an eye out. Is it going to come under something else, do you think? I need to look back at StreamYard to see what... So it's non-game. Is that what I was looking at, game?
Let's see.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at the wrong thing because it's not game. But wildlife conservation... help, Jonathan.
Oh.
Protecting wildlife.
Wildlife. Oh.
What?
Friends of Lowers. It's friends of BridgesRefuge.org. Hold on. Let me see.
Back to the hunting regulation. There is a box on the far right. Last listing for non-game. Okay. So where was it?
I put this in private chat. It says, Fish and Wildlife Service features the Lower Suwannee Refuge, and former friends present Greg Lane and resident story on hunting National Wildlife Refuge. Not even swamp ape legends discern hunters from flocking to lowers. I mean, it's mentioned here just for that, but that's all I found.
Right. Your link's not coming up, Jonathan. No one can post links, unfortunately, in the chat. So can you email it to me, please? I will put my email address up now. Oh, what's that? What have you just sent me, Lee?
That's where I was at. I was.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Jonathan, please send me the link, please, to that address, and I'll put it up and we'll have a look at it. Someone's got to answer the question at the other end of the line. Whoever's printed that or put that down on there. I'd love to make a phone call to them.
Yeah.
And record it, obviously, and say, why have you put that on there? Okay, give me 1 second. Oh, where have you sent me it? What's coming up? Okay. Gotcha. All right, okay. So it is a leaflet, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I've got it sent to me. Let's put it up. So this is the full leaflet. Specific hunt. I see it there already.
There it is.
Yeah, I can't get it any bigger. It will not let me go any bigger, but yeah, it's there. There is no taking of swamp or skunk ape. So I don't know. I'm going to make a phone call tomorrow, maybe. There's a number on there, and just ask them to explain what it is. Why would they say that? For a creature that apparently doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's better. So yeah, I'm glad. I mean, I know we had the image that Kerry was sharing, but I really wanted to find out where it was from, because it's important to look into stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
I just really wanted to know, is it a real thing? And yes, it is. So thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate you sharing that and helping out there. So yeah, I mean, that's the next the thing I want to look into.
Were you able to get that link I sent you in chat? Did that work for you?
I'm looking at it now.
Oh,
right, okay.
On the page it pops up. There's a leaflet there. You can get to, and it might come up a little bit better. And it's page 4. Specific hunting regulations. Hogs, no size or bag limit for hogs. Shoot them all. Take hogs during any season except spring turkey and waterfowl. In designated archery only areas, see map. Only bows and crossbows allowed. Coyote may be taken during archery, muzzleloader, general gun, and family hunt season. There is no taking of swamp or skunk apes.
Yeah.
Boom, baby.
We got it.
We do. We got it.
Yeah. Kill them all. I mean, the hogs. I mean, there must be obviously a lot of them for them to say that.
Exactly.
What's muzzleloader mean?
Black powder, the old flintlock type.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, there's no taking of swamp or skunk here. It doesn't say you can't kill him. No, I'm not saying let's go.
No. It's true. It's true.
I wonder if people have accidentally shot them, tried to take the bodies. But why say don't kill them? Needs looking into.
Well, you're right. I mean, this is a legal document right here. These are rules and regulations, and they need to be specific. Coyote may be taken during archery, blah blah blah. There is no taking of swamp or skunk apes. A lot of hunters will determine and interpret that as a no kill, but you take someone who's not familiar with that lingo, will not be able to do. I don't understand why they do that.
No taking means no shooting. To
Right.
those that understand that.
Exactly.
And I'm not trying to sound ignorant, but maybe I am because I'm not from there. I would just, I would look a bit further into something and go, oh well, maybe that means you can kill them, you can't take them.
Right.
Some people would take it literally, literal. So
yeah. Maybe I just ought to call them up and say, maybe you need to reword this a little better. I don't know, maybe. Well, there you go.
Enough reason to ring up just to be clear. Can I kill one but not take it? I'm just trying to be clear on these skunk ape rules, and see what they say. I don't know. I'll just be interested to know people's reaction. How they're going to answer that. And if anybody does, has ever contacted them going, what's a swamp ape?
Exactly.
I
mean, we know what it is, but
Yeah. So that's that one. I wonder if we can find any more other states that are doing that. And I don't know if anybody else knows in the chat if there are other states. Conroe Wildlife Officer, and I know, but I want to know who's wrote that leaflet, who put their name to typing, or whoever typed that out, or wrote it, or decided to come up with those rules and regulations. That's who I want to speak to. I will. I'm going to get him. Because someone, had to edit that, also read that and pass it for okay. This is what we want our people to know. So there's a conversation being had about them and whether or not to put them in that leaflet in the rules and regulations.
Right.
So these people don't hang around and talk about crap, do they, all day? They're talking about serious stuff, and they've actually put swamp ape in the leaflet.
Right. I mean, and this is this year, and it's not like 40 years ago, 50 years ago. This is this year. Lower Suwannee Northwest Region Hunt Brochure 2021 through 2022 Word document. I mean, swamp and skunk ape are mentioned. That's crazy. So, I mean, it
is when you think about it. It's not an official creature, but we'll just put it in our rules and regulations.
Let's protect the species without saying we're protecting the species.
Yeah, quite possibly. How many states have got this? Have got one of these.
So, let's think of this too. They put this in here, and this lingo is used, obviously, and interpreted by hunters. When it means may be taken or may not be taken, that means you can't kill it or you can kill it. They also just label swamp or skunk ape like these people know what this thing is. They automatically assume that the hunters know exactly what they're talking about.
That's the next question. What do these things look like?
Yeah, right.
So I don't shoot one. Can you describe what they look like, or how are we supposed to know what one is? It's just so dumb, isn't it? It's getting beyond a joke to me.
Yeah, dude,
it's not even being talked about.
It's counterintuitive as hell. I'm sorry. I mean, it just really is. Legal deer. I mean...
Maybe lots of people need to email them, get in touch, and say we're all coming on a joint hunting expedition. You know, we don't know what these things are. What do they look like?
Looking a little further, see if I see where they slipped up and put it in here one other time. Maybe I don't see it. But the numbers...
Even when you search for the word, it doesn't come up. It doesn't... I tried.
Questions and concerns, report violations, call, text, refuge manager anytime. 703-622-3896.
There you go. Anytime. There's no better time than now.
Call them up at 1 a.m., brother. Well, you said to call anytime.
Well, it won't be 1 a.m. for him, will it? It'll be 1 a.m. for me, probably.
Right.
Only at 1 a.m. in the morning. But yeah, I'm gonna ring them.
Yeah, kick that door down.
They will say monkey could have escaped from a zoo. But well, it'll be interesting to see what their excuses are.
Yeah. Oh, it's swamp ape. You know, it's a bear.
Yeah. Well, they can't now, can they? They can't say that now. But they brought that on there, so I don't know. It could lead to nothing, but still.
Did I tell you? Did I tell you that story? You know, when I was doing that, when I did my documentary on that couple that was having that problem, I reached out to a friend of mine who's in, a Fish and Game Commission up here, and we have known each other. I mean, it's just not an acquaintance. We're friends. I mean, we served together for a while, about almost 10 years, and we know each other pretty damn well. I come to him and say, look, I've got this problem. X, Y, and Z's happening, and these people are having problems. Look, I sent him the photos that were sent to me, and he was like, oh, wow. At first, he's like, oh, wow, what the hell was that? You know, at first, and this is all in text, and I kept it. He says, at first, you know, you think it was a big cat that would do that, but no, it's different. It's different. I said, exactly. They didn't drag it off. They didn't hide it. They usually try and cover it up, you know. And later on, he said, I've got a wildlife, because he's with, game warden. He's a game warden. And he said, I've got a wildlife biologist. I'm going to send these photos to her and see what happens. Well, a couple of days later, I hear nothing. He comes back, hey, man, it turns out the wildlife biologist is on a vacation, won't be back for a while, so I don't know. So, well, I told him, I said, thanks for trying, man. And I was going to let it go, but he texts me back, and he says, well, it was probably a bear anyway. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Did you just tell that to me? Did you just send that in a text to me? Are you kidding me? Okay, whatever, dude. Whatever. And I'm not holding nothing.
Isn't it? It's an insult.
It's a smack in the face, is what it is. It really is. It's like, man. But he's probably doing what he was told to do. He probably did do what he said he was going to do, and people higher up than him said, you don't fool with that. Okay. And then, he just kind of brushed me off, hoping I wouldn't do anything, which I did. Going to deter me from doing that. I made my documentary, did whatever anyway. I still keep in touch with the people. I mean, but when he said that, man, it just...
Yeah.
It was not only insulting, but from who it was coming from, it really did hurt my feelings. You know, I don't try to get in my feels a lot about stuff like that, but that right there, it showed me a lot. It showed me a lot. You know, there's a lot of, talk about, the cover-ups and this, that, and the other, and I've heard stories like that. Now I've had it actually happen to me. I'm like, okay, yeah, so this mess is real. This mess is real.
Yeah. It's easier for people to joke about something than to take seriously when they don't get it.
Right.
And it's about them, isn't it? It's just not being able to get their heads round. What happened to me when I had my encounter, what I think was a big cat, something following me, growling. I can't make any sense of it other than, that's what it could have been, only have been something big, like, I could hear like you'd hear a lion growl, or from the pit of the stomach, like really deep. And I told my friend whose house I'd come from, who lives near there, about it, and it was in December. It was on Christmas night, and she laughed when I told her, and she waited till, I laugh about it now, but she waited till April the 1st, and she messaged me. She went, "Oh my God, I've just seen what you were talking about. I thought it was Annie." She has a black Labrador, and she said, "I thought it was Annie, but then I realised it's a big cat, and I've called animal care." Well, our animal care is like a little, shelter for homeless dogs and cats, like rabbits.
Right.
And I was thinking, why is she calling animal care? This is a big cat. But it was an April Fool's joke. She was trying to play on me. But actually, I experienced that.
Right.
And she, but that's just because that's how people are. Because they've never experienced it or looked into it. Because Bigfoot's not something that's just out there for everybody to kind of peruse and, it's on telly all the time. It isn't like that. You really have to look into it to know something about it. And so it's the same with big cats here. People have never heard or aware of how many sightings have been of big cats in the UK. They'd be pretty surprised. It's into the thousands. So it's real. But if you just don't know, it's a joke to people.
I know it. I think we were talking here not too long ago about stupidity versus ignorance, and then there's willful ignorance, which is the same thing as stupidity. And then there's, there are people who just don't know, and sometimes you got to know where to draw that line for these people, whether to be mad at them or just take pity on them. And me being who I am, I usually take the knee-jerk reaction to get ticked off at them, but I've got to sit back and think, what do these people actually know about the subject?
That's it. And I think you got to remember that it's not personal. They're laughing at you, but actually they're laughing because they're ignorant.
Exactly.
No. And it is hurtful, it's not a nice thing, but like I've said before, there's no backup.
No.
You can't go, hang on a minute, look here, it's here. It's nowhere. There's just nothing, and that's the frustrating thing. But look, we've come to the end of the hour. We've made it through.
We did.
And everyone's got a little bit of homework. If you want to get in touch with the Florida State, or no, not the Florida, the what was it? The
Lower Suwannee, Northwest
Lower
Region,
Suwannee.
Brewster. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure where that's at.
Lower Suwannee, yeah. The brochure. I'm going to actually put the link. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Maybe a bunch of you feel like getting in touch with the guys at any time. You want to get in touch.
Let's flood them with questions, folks.
Yeah, do it.
Do it. Not even joking.
Swamp ape look like? And someone said earlier about, then that they're going to put the mark on you. And, when you think about it, why are we a threat to anybody?
Right.
Just because we don't know anything,
Right.
apart from the fact that people are seeing them. But we're not. How are we a threat to this thing being exposed when we've got absolutely nothing official to back us up? So, I don't know if people get marked in this subject, because unless you're getting close to the truth, and I don't think anyone's really.
Right.
Even if you get close to the truth, you can't even prove. Can't even prove it's the truth. So I'm not sure we are going to spoil things or anything like that. But Lower Suwannee, someone in the regulation licensing laws office, wrote that brochure or okayed it, and it'd be lovely to hear what a swamp ape is to them, or a skunk ape. So if anyone wants to, get in touch yourselves, I'd love to hear what your replies are and what response you got. So anyway, we'll be here again maybe on Tuesday for a drawing Bigfoot. Not sure, but we'll definitely be here on Wednesday. Lee, when's your next show?
It'll be Friday night, about 10 p.m.
Friday night. The Ravens Outpost. I'm going to put a link in the description so everyone can go and check Lee out. There's some good conversations over there. Almost as good as the ones we have here.
Yeah, almost.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me tonight, Lee.
My pleasure.
It's been great. Thanks, everyone, for showing up. I hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you all soon. Good night.
Bye, everybody.